Good morning. It is Let It Go and Let It Grow, and this is Thursday. Okay, so what are we letting go of today? And that is Knight of Pentacles energy. And Pentacles are abundance, health, career, home, stability, and the physical world today. The Knight is earth energy, commonly associated with Taurus. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So today's reading, where it is the Let It Grow is the Knight of Pentacles and Let It Go is the Ten of Wands, is asking you to slow down or work harder. Instead, it's asking you to examine how you're carrying your responsibility and whether some of the weight you're holding was ever yours to carry to begin with. So the Earth card today, the Let It Go, Knight of Pentacles, is releasing perfectionism that is keeping you stuck. The Knights are that sort of younger energy. The Pages are, I would say, your early teens. So this would be sort of like late high school, early 20s, kind of college energy. So a lot of times in these times, we are striving for perfection. We are striving for those good grades, to be noticed, that great relationship, new beginnings, new jobs, new knowledge. And we can really get into a perfectionism complex with that. And this card is asking us to release that and realize that we are not perfect. So we can drop that behind us and let that shed off. I see almost like a snakeskin, letting that shed behind you. Let go, believing progress has to be slow and meaningful. Sometimes, and once again, this settles with the snake energy, it can be a really quick change. So it doesn't have to be slow. Sometimes this change and this progress can happen in a blink of an eye with possibility. I just saw a job offer out of the blue and it's exactly what you wanted, and boom, something has changed dramatically in your life. Release routines that have become comfortable but no longer inspire you. Don't continue to do something because you're comfortable there. It's okay to let that energy trail behind you and to lead and let it go and possibly ponder and look into doing something new. Not necessarily jumping into the newness of it, but it's okay to look at, survey your surroundings and see what's actually out there. A lot of us, myself included, can get very comfortable in a place that we're at, and we'll stay there just because comfort is in our brains easier than fear. And that has to do with the safety of the nervous system. I know myself, the last job I had at Walmart, I worked there for 10 years. And when I walked into Walmart now, which isn't often, I don't know how I did it for 10 minutes, let alone 10 years. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? I don't even know how I was capable of doing that. And for people who are newer here with me and don't know me, I ran customer service. I got yelled at all day long for shit that wasn't my responsibility nor my problem. But it was a comfort level because that's what I got used to doing. So when I ended up leaving the job during COVID, when my system collapsed, when I have gone back in there, I don't know how I've done it. So releasing that routine because it's become comfortable can be challenging, can be huge, but it can also be the most meaningful step that you will ever take, even though it will stretch your nervous system a bit. But in some ways, stretching your nervous system is exactly what it needs, because your nervous system needs to know that things can change and you can still be okay and land on your feet when that happens. So stop waiting for that time where everything is just right, because it's just never going to be right. So stop waiting for that time to take action. Work on that now. Work on the feelings. You can go over, especially if you're looking at changing jobs, getting a new job, leaving the position that you're in. I don't know why this is job related for me today, but that's what I'm seeing. Start playing it in your head how you want it to look for you. So when the position arises or the job opens itself up to you, or you have the ability to take it and move from where you're at, it becomes a lot less stressful to your amygdala, to the limbic system, and won't trigger that anxiety. Trust that growth sometimes requires stepping beyond what feels safe. So everything I just said. So for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the Knight of Pentacles is celebrating your reliability and dedication. But it's asking today whether or not this consistency becomes hesitation. Stability is a gift, but don't let the comfort keep you from answering your soul's next calling. Don't stay stuck. You can see the trail of pentacles behind them. And I just heard in my head, leaving them like there's no fucks to give, right? Just letting them go behind them. Let the chips fall where they may. And knowing that the next journey might be exactly what you are looking for. So that is the Knight of Pentacles today. And what are we letting grow? And this is the wonderful energy of the Ten of Wands. Wands is passion, purpose, creativity, responsibility, and spiritual fire. This is the fire signs. So this is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. This is the pure fire. And the Ten of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius energy. So what are we letting grow? Our ability to prioritize what truly matters. So if we're letting this fall behind us and letting it go, this is obviously needs to be a change and is something we're working towards. We're prioritizing today what truly matters. And that's the representation of the Ten of Wands. You can see she has just come from a trail that was lit for her down with the beautiful oxen, and she made a decision somewhere along the way that she was going to let the ox do most of the heavy lifting for her. So this is once again asking for help and growing where you need to. Carry the responsibilities with purpose rather than an obligation. So you're wanting to do this. This is something that you're plugged into and want to work towards, and reaching out for that help where you need it so you don't carry it completely by yourself. Learning to ask for help when it's needed. You don't have to carry the load all on its own. This doesn't have to be a complete you issue. You can ask for help and strengthen those healthy boundaries for yourself by asking for help. We see this as boundaries, and so the Nine of Wands is the girl standing behind a fence holding the wand, which is all about boundaries. This is now understanding how your boundaries actually work and how you can relax them a bit for yourself. Still having those boundaries, but knowing it's a choice and perception of when they should be implemented and when they can be more relaxed. You're safer in that mode now. And you allow the discipline to support your dreams instead of exhausting you. So you know what you need to do. This is the 10. The reading yesterday were the 5s. So the struggle, you're on the struggle bus a bit, trying to figure things out. The 10 is completion of the smaller cards before we get into the core cards. So you have come to a point of stability and mastery before you grow again. So this is saying you now understand where you have come from, and these boundaries and this discipline is not something that's taxing and exhausting because you know how to ask for that help when you need it. In the Wands card, the 5 is the combative card. It is the bunch of people willy-nilly with wands fighting each other. So the conflict is over. You've learned how to master that. You've learned how to walk forward with that. And you know how to set those good boundaries, when to set them, when not to, and how to discipline to support yourself where it's needed. So the fire signs today are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Ten of Wands reminds you that the passion is powerful, but burnout serves absolutely no one. So once again, learning when to walk away. And your fire shines bright when you are protective and not overextended. So this is once again knowing that boundary, knowing how to protect yourself without checking out on yourself or others at the same time. So this reading may seem unusual. First, the Knight of Pentacles is often seen as the card of really hard work, and the Ten of Wands is often seen as carrying heavy burdens, sort of like the message of, in both cases, work harder. But your soul is saying something much deeper today. The Knight has mastered the consistency, the showing up, doing the work, and keeping the promises. There's a quiet honor in that, but sometimes routine become comfortable and a place to hide. And we tell ourselves we'll start something new tomorrow. That's just, fuck, I just got called out with that. We launch a project when everything is ready, but not everything is ready when we want it to be. We'll reset and rest after one more task is done, after we, have the proverbial ducks in the row. You're always going to be like herding cats, or kittens. The ducks will never always be in the row. So we say yes because it's easier than saying no. But then the 10 of Wands arrives. Pay attention. The 10 of Wands arrives not as punishment, but as a revelation. It asks, why are you carrying everything? Some of these wands belong to your dreams. Some belong to your family. Some belong to work. But if you're being honest, some belong to expectations that were never yours in the first place. They were laid on you as burdens. What did your parents expect you to be when you grow up? Do you have this feeling that you disappointed them? Because you can leave that behind now. That's not their journey, it's yours. So the burden is no longer yours to carry, it's to be shared. So together these cards invite you into a relationship with responsibility to keep the beautiful work ethic up. Keep your commitment, your reliability, but stop believing that you have to carry everything, every burden to prove your worth. The strongest people weren't those who put the load down. They're the ones who know which responsibilities are truly theirs and how to optimize those, how to walk away from what no longer serves them, and work with what they've been given. This reading isn't asking you to become less dependable. It's asking you to become more discerning in your life. What can you let go? What's not your burden to be carried? And how to work to these together. Because what you release is, once you release what isn't yours, you finally have the energy to fully embrace what truly is. So today, release the belief that your value comes from how much that you carry, and grow into a life where responsibility is guided by purpose, healthy boundaries, and self-respect. So they work perfectly, incredibly good together. Your soul wasn't created to carry every burden. It was carried to walk your own path. So what responsibilities are you carrying simply because you've always carried it? And if you released one burden that no longer belongs to you, what energy or joy or possibility would you finally have room to welcome in? And I do believe that is it for today. So I am going to do a Law of Positivism card today. And we will see what this says. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And this is, I liberate myself from emotions that don't serve me. And this is a beautiful, beautiful pentacle card with, the full moon, dark moon, sun. It's all the elements, all the aspects. And it is saying that you can really, works well with this card, that you are releasing what no longer serves there. So this is working from the water realm. There is a lot of water there, so this would be more cup energy. So really touching base into those emotions and knowing that this journey through these two cards today, when you're finally able to leave that guilt and burdens of what you're no longer carrying behind you, the expectations of possibly others, and that discernment that there's a possibility that that is going to fire up and charge some emotions for you. And it's okay to feel those at the same time, because this is an incredible journey we are on, and to release that judgment of yourself and liberate from yourself from the emotions. If that means go screaming at the ocean, go do it. If that means sitting down and curling up and having a good cry, that's what it means as well. So I hope you have a good one today, and may your path be gentle. May your heart always remain open, and may your soul always remember that you are the medicine. Have a good day. Bye.